Hi, so in this video we are going to look at search, essentially how to search in myReach. So as you know, myReach centralizes all of your information, but the important thing is then being able to search through it. So rather than doing a Control F looking for a file, myReach goes beyond simple responses and searching for files. It also provides detailed answers, guides you to relevant information for deeper understanding, and you can ask follow-up questions. You can receive answers in formats like tables, lists, bullet points. Essentially, consider it a ChatGPT where you can ask questions, but based on your company knowledge. So there are multiple ways that you can search. You've got the search bar here at the top. You've got the chat button. You've got the assistant. Let me just move this to the side. And you can click on any particular node to search about that specific node. So it also doesn't matter what view you are in, you can always search for nodes. The other thing to point out also is the filters. So you are able to narrow down your search, and this helps if you've got a knowledge base with a lot of information. You can narrow it down based on the type of node. So whether you're only looking for answers about websites that you have saved, about files, albums, and if you click on any of these, it only gives you the website. So if you ask a question in the search bar, it will be based on your search results. So in this case, only websites. You can also narrow down based on a particular node and all of its relationships. On the status, whether it has been learned. This is important to make sure that the nodes you're asking about have been learned, because the AI is only able to answer based on information that it has learned. So there are two things to consider here. You can either enter keywords for a basic search. So for example, if you're looking for contracts, and this gives you all the contracts that you've got and narrows down based on keywords, or you can do a more detailed question. You can type full sentences and full questions to initiate a semantic search. So, for example, you can ask it to create a table of the recent marketing campaigns, including campaign name, start date, end date, budget spent, and results achieved. So what it is doing now, it is searching through your entire knowledge base to find the relevant nodes to answer your question. It then also provides, let me show you. Here you've got the table that it has created summarizing your recent campaigns. This is the node where it has taken the information from, so you can click on it to read more, to see more information and all. And then it provides a few sources that might also be relevant for what you're looking for. From here, you can continue the chat. You can also open up the chat here to ask follow-up questions. You can essentially continue asking questions or start a new chat, or the options are limitless. Then another way to search is through the chat button, as we just saw before. This bases the search on your search results. So for instance, if we're doing research and we want to list 3 companies that Vanguard is invested in. Now with this, we can ask follow-up questions, and you don't have to give it context because it understands from the previous conversation. So how many shares does it have of Amazon? As you can see, it always gives the source where it has based the information from. This is really important to us because it allows you to verify, or trust but verify your information, or to read on further, or to find exactly the link that you were looking for, the source. So this is another way to search. The third way to search that I showed you before is the assistant. This is essentially your search bar. One search bar for all your information about your company, about the information that has been uploaded to your knowledge base. You can ask anything and use it as a chat. Consider it like a personal assistant that knows all the information that you can't remember. Whether it's a contract that is somewhere in your knowledge base, on your Google Drive, whether it's a document that you don't even know existed, whether you're trying to get ready for a meeting. So for example, if you are trying to get ready for a meeting, you could ask, like, what was the agreed payment structure with David Miller? Assuming that you've now got a meeting with David Miller. Okay, so you see here the answer. What are the next steps of the deal? You don't need to keep mentioning the name of the company or the person that you're talking about or anything. It automatically detects it from the previous messages in the conversation. So with this, you are now ready to have your call with David Miller. You've got all the information that you need. And if you want, you can either open the notes and with your call, have the note next to you and have all the information of your previous call with him and what the next steps were. So this is with the search bar. You've got all of your previous conversations. So you can always go back to one of the chats and continue the conversation from there. Or if you prefer, you can start a new chat. If we go back to the knowledge base, the last way that we can ask questions is if we, let's do it here, if we go to a specific node and open the chat. So if you do this, it will base the conversation on this particular file and all of its relationships. So in this case, we've only got relationship to two different tags, but if you had a connection to other contracts, websites, articles, meeting notes, it would also base it on that. If you want it to be based solely on this file, you can disable the toggle of node relationships here. So let's ask a question here. When does the lease start? So rather than having to first look for the file, open it, go through all the pages, or Control F and try to find the answers, the only thing you have to do is just open the chat, ask the question, and it gives you the answer. And usually you don't just have one question, you've got follow-up questions, so this works here too. So list the key points of the agreement. With a spelling mistake, but it still detects it, it still understands it. So there you go. As a recap, we've got our knowledge base, it's got all the information, and there are 4 key ways that you can search. You can add filters to narrow down the search. You can search with a search bar, chat button, the assistant, or from a particular node. You can also search if you're looking for example, before a contract. You can do a specific search and then open the contract and ask a question here, which would be the same as filtering it by that particular contract. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you in the next video.